Do you find yourself more drawn to tag team wrestling, or do you have a healthy appreciation for both?
Well, I found myself more drawn to tag team wrestling when I first started, just because my best friend, he was Migs on NWA television, right? Whenever he came in, Miguel Robles, he actually got me into professional wrestling in the first place. It was kind of just one conversation we had after he had a bad breakup with a girl. And I mean, the fortunate news was that they got back together afterwards. But we kind of made the dedication to do this wrestling thing together. Now, unfortunately, it didn't work out when it came to doing the wrestling thing together at first. Eventually, we found each other again when it came to the world of professional wrestling. Um, we ended up getting trained in two different places. So he got trained by Lance Storm, the Storm Wrestling Academy, a fantastic academy, and that was originally the plan. Whenever we were talking about, oh, we're gonna go get trained together, we're gonna be the world's greatest tag team, yada yada yada. Unfortunately, I did not take that same path, and I guess it's unfortunately and fortunately
Yeah,
because if I
things have
did
worked out
take
pretty
that same
well.
path, oh yeah, definitely the connections I've made just by trusting in Crimson and working under him, starting around 2017, about 4 years after we made that whole promise to each other.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to get into. I wanted to get into when
Yeah,
did you make the decision to start training officially? Because I know you wanted to ever since the Triple H moment, but when did you start making plans and how did tried and true pro wrestling become where you went? Like, can you just explain what went into that?
yeah. So me and Miguel had that conversation back in 2013, and that's when I decided, I made a promise to myself that I was going to sacrifice anything and everything for professional wrestling. And unfortunately, and fortunately, there weren't really a lot of opportunities that came across during that time. While Miguel was doing his training in 2015, I was still kind of here, just kind of trying to find my way to set a foundation to even get started because it's very hard to find out how to get started, especially at that time. I wasn't like the best internet surfer at the time,
Hmm.
so I was very bad at finding the answers for exactly what I needed. And getting started was like one of the hardest parts. And so eventually a family friend of mine, he ended up telling me one day, just calling me in the middle of the morning. He's like, "Hey man, uh, one of our guys called out and we need somebody to come in." And that's all he had to say to me. I was like, "Oh, no, give me a second. Let me just make a phone call real quick." Flip over on the other line, go ahead and call my job and tell them I quit. I quit that day just to go work for Crimson. Once I heard there was a spot open, I didn't think they were even going to pay me or whatnot. I did not care as long as I was able to do something that involved professional wrestling because I'd already been watching Tried and True Pro at the live show since 2015, since they had first started. And so by 2017, I was making for sure that I was going to be a part of that in any way, shape, or form, whatever way I possibly could be. And so 2017, March 2017 to be exact, I think it might have been like Art of War 3, something like that. That was the name of it. Jeff Hardy was the headliner. Got to meet him. That was very weird because we met in the bathroom.
Oh,
I did not expect that.
what
Um,
a first meeting.
oh yeah, wasn't expecting to meet the first person that I would grow up watching and being a big fan of. First time I meet him is well, I'm hold a wiener in my hand, trying to take a piss. Didn't expect to meet him like that, and more than that to actually say anything while that's going on. And surprisingly enough, I didn't do the whole fanboy thing and just be like, "Oh my god, you're Jeff Hardy! Please sign my uh shirt or
Yeah,
something." Uh, Please shake my hand after I washed it, of course, sir.
of course, of
Uh,
course.
so I joined Tried and True Pro at that point, just being a security guy. And a year later, we yeah, about a year and a month later, we open up the academy. And I'm one of the very first students invited into that academy because Crimson knew from the moment I met him, that's exactly what I wanted. That's exactly what I wanted to be. I wanted to be trained to be a professional wrestler. And I wasn't going to stop at a single thing. Nothing was going to stop me from getting to that point. Mostly because I kept talking this man's ear off and constantly telling him, "Hey, when's the school going to open? Hey, when's the school going to be open?" So he got that for a full year, and eventually he got me to shut up.
Hey, you know what? You showing that passion opened the door for you, though.
Oh yeah, and that's something he's always said that he's appreciated, and I appreciate that he appreciates it. I was very dedicated to being a part of the sport, and being able to really give it the old college try and see professional wrestling was really the passion that I wanted to be. And luckily it is.